Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video where today's video we are talking about pre-order bonuses for Rugby 24 and why there seems to be nothing in terms of pre-order bonuses. So the reason why we're talking about this is, if you guys are aware, a lot of games these days are being pre-ordered digitally, and so it's quite rare these days to get a physical copy. I don't know about yourself, but I'm very much a nostalgia person, and I like the idea of having something physical. I don't know if I have a game to hand with me right now. Actually, I do. I actually have in front of me, I have Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the PS4. I love a disc. I don't know what it is, but it's just something nice. It's something nice, something to get delivered. I remember midnight launches back in the day. They were awesome. But a lot of games now, a lot of people pre-order them digitally on either the PlayStation Store, Xbox Live Store, Steam, wherever it may be, right? And I was thinking, why can't I pre-order Rugby 24? So obviously, you can pre-order Rugby 24 from a retailer, so you get a physical copy, but there is no mention right now in terms of a digital version. Now, I had a look, as always, did a bit of research, a little bit of homework here, and on Twitter, obviously, Ross Sinnams, the CEO of Big Ant Studios, obviously Big Ant Studios is the developer of Rugby 24, and obviously this is the first time that Nacon are using Big Ant Studios as their developer for Rugby 24. Obviously, in the past, we've had Eco Software being interactive for all the previous rugby games, and Ross was talking about Cricket 24. Now, Cricket 24 is obviously another game developed by Big Ant Studios, and someone was asking about, can I pre-order Cricket 24 on the store? So what this guy said, hey Ross, when can we pre-order the digital version of Cricket 24 for both Xbox and PlayStation? So excited, can't wait. Ross replies and says, well, there'll be no pre-orders for digital versions of Cricket 24, and he goes, brackets, genuinely, there must be a pre-order bonus to have a digital pre-order. Now, this is actually quite news to me, because bearing in mind, like looking back at this, all the games I pre-order online, I've always had a pre-order bonus. So like Payday 3, for example, it gave me a bonus. Call of Duty gave me a bonus. So it does kind of make sense that maybe maybe there is a terms and conditions, right, with the company who you're deploying the game to. So for example, Sony, Xbox, etc. And as a publisher, in order to have your game on the store ahead of launch, and to maybe have a pre-launch, if you guys know that you can sometimes, like a week before or a few days before, you can kind of pre-download the game. So as it strikes midnight, or as it strikes the launch date and that launch time of that game, then it's available to play, right? And I love that. I love that idea. Nothing worse than clicking download, waiting for it to install, especially if you want to play some friends, right? Because obviously some friends have super fast internet, some friends don't, and some friends won't really stay up late, so that it doesn't really bother them too much. But obviously you get some friends as well who are ordering it through the post and are waiting for the postman to come. Like, come on, mate, when are you coming? Like, I really want the disc, right? I mean, obviously, like anything these days, the reason why so many people like to order games online, especially through the digital store, is the fact that the disc these days is kind of pointless. Like, all the disc does is give some validation, some verification to the companies that A, you've bought the game, and B, it's legit. Like, because basically you put the disc in, it has some data on there, but realistically now we just download all the games all the time. It's part of this generation of consoles with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Obviously we saw this kind of with the PS4 as well. If you remember back in the day, like, you never really had to download a big update. So I'm not expecting that Rugby 24 is going to be a massive game where there's a lot of downloads, but it would be nice to see if we can get a digital version. So what it shows so far is, right now, if you search Rugby 24 on the Xbox Store or even the PlayStation Store, there is no sign of the game. Now, this could be one of two things. One, there's no pre-order bonus, which for me would be nice to see. I know Rugby isn't necessarily a massive, I wouldn't class it as a AAA game, but I would love to see a pre-order bonus. Like, if you remember with Rugby 18, this is obviously a few rugbies ago, Rugby 18 had the British and Irish Lions, and if you remember that was a pre-order bonus. And annoyingly, you were never able to get that team ever again if you bought it after launch. It was kind of a very VIP access type of thing. And I was lucky enough to be able to pre-order it and have access to British and Irish Lions. And a lot of people were like, Matt, have you got this? Have you got this? And it was sort of like pre-ordering, right? And it was awesome. Now, with obviously Rugby 24 and supposedly, I think it was 130 plus licensed teams, it's going to be the most licensed rugby game we've ever seen. I'm kind of hoping that there might be a pre-order bonus, because for me, with the British and Irish Lions tour this year and the announce of Andy Farrell and all that fun stuff, like, it would be cool to do a pre-order bonus and just say, hey, if you pre-order the game, you have access to the British and Irish Lions. I mean, that'd be awesome. The other thing as well, right, is I would like to see, like with FIFA, for example, like obviously another sports game, pre-ordering a game on FIFA, for example, depending on the game modes which will come into Rugby 24, is maybe there's a bonus, right? So like we saw with Rugby 22 with, was it like My Club? Was it, or My Squad, or whatever it was called? And if you remember, we basically could like buy packs, but we can never actually buy packs with actual cash. We had to earn it through these points, and we got the points from playing the game, but also we got these points in terms of currency from doing quizzes, right? And these weekly challenges, and they were really fun, right? Don't get me wrong, those are really fun. But how cool would it be if, for them to say, hey guys, if you pre-order Rugby 24, you get 100,000 points or 100,000 whatever currency there is in order to start building your team. I think that would be unbelievable. I think, for me, I think that's why so many companies now, it kind of makes sense, why so many companies offer a pre-order bonus just so they meet the criteria and therefore eligible to have it on the store. Because like, what we've seen with Cricket 24, for example, is we've kind of seen some last minute things that, oh, it's now live, or even with tiebreak, oh, it's now live. It's more of a now thing. And it kind of feels like I need to have like Twitter notifications for this account, this account, this account. I need to sign up for SMS or whatever, just to get notified. But that's number one. The other thing we're talking about is maybe the fact that the game isn't ready yet to be on the store. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. If you were potentially pre-ordering the game and Big Ant Studios was thinking, going, what would the community want in terms of pre-order bonus? What would you guys want specifically? For me, I think, if there is like a My Squad mode or something, it would be nice to kind of have some currency or something. I think it'd be really cool to have like a really big kind of start in that sense. Maybe some packs. I remember Rugby 22, you had like the New Zealand pack or like a Saracens pack or whatever. Maybe some like special packs. I would like to see maybe like Rugby 18 style. We had like the British and Irish Lions. I think that'd be really cool as well. But what are your thoughts? Because I'm curious. So I'm going to type in on Google, right? Because obviously that's what Ross was saying. And obviously it makes sense. I want to see if there's any other articles on about what are the requirements to have a digital version of a game. So what are the requirements for a digital pre-order game PlayStation? So looking on the Sony website in terms of their FAQs, there isn't really anything which kind of like confirms what Ross is saying, but obviously kind of like Ross is kind of like behind the scenes, right? But what is interesting and kind of like, because you can pre-order the game physically, right? I feel like for me, you could still pre-order the game online, because it says here, for example, on the PlayStation FAQs, it says, what happens if a pre-order release date changes, right? So if a pre-order release date changes, or a pre-order release date we list on our site are based on information we receive from publishers or manufacturers and could subject to change. If the scheduled release of an item but you have pre-ordered changes or the release is cancelled together, we will notify you via email on file. So I feel like the game could still come out or be available to pre-order early. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe there isn't any pre-order bonuses, which would kind of like in some way kind of suck a little bit. But like, I don't know how much extra effort or time there is to kind of make it like, support the game in that way. Because I would 100% pre-order the game. Like if someone said, lock me in, here's the cash, I'm ready to go, and I'm getting this on day one, perfect. Like that's what I want. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts below? I think, like I said, the last time we saw like a pre-order thing was, I think, Rugby 18, maybe. But even like a day one edition, that'd be cool. We've seen that before with different games, where it could be like a day one edition, and then you get a little bonus. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, then be sure to leave a massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment what's regarding this. But anyway, you guys, thank you guys for watching, and as always, in my next video, adios, chaps, boom.
And her gold is not in her. She's a dime.